Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today we're looking ahead to AI in 2025 and going a bit beyond all the GPU hype. Our source is a Motley Fool article pointing to AI doing things on its own, autonomously. Kind of wild, right?
It is pretty wild. Yeah, we're talking about AI going from a powerful tool to an independent actor. Huge implications for, well, everything.
Okay, so before we get there, let's set the scene with where AI is right now. PwC predicts AI will add, get this, $15.7 trillion
Yeah.
to the global GDP by 2030. But it's not just about AI replacing jobs, is it?
No, not at all. It's a more fundamental shift in how value is created. Think of AI spinning up brand new industries, optimizing existing ones like crazy, leading to this explosion of personalized everything, products, services, you name it. That's the impact we're talking about.
Wow, yeah, that really puts it in perspective. And speaking of massive impact, we can't ignore Nvidia and all this. They're basically the name in AI hardware now. Their GPUs are like the engines driving this whole AI revolution.
Oh, for sure. And their growth has been, it's unreal. From a $360 billion company to almost $3.3 trillion in just a couple of years. But the really interesting thing is why they're dominating. It's not just about raw power. Their chips are also super energy efficient. And that's absolutely key as the need for AI processing just explodes.
So they're kind of future-proofing things, planning for both power and sustainability as AI gets bigger.
Exactly. Staying ahead of the curve, investing in performance and efficiency. But their success also brings up some questions about market control. When one company gets that big, it can affect innovation. Pricing for everybody else, it's something to watch.
That's a really good point. I hadn't thought of it that way. It's almost like they hold the keys to the AI kingdom right now.
Yeah, in a way they do. But the big story for 2025 isn't just hardware, no matter how powerful it gets. It's about what AI can do with that power, which brings us back to AI agents.
Okay, let's unpack that. When we talk about AI agents, we're not talking about just like basic chatbots or like the simple virtual assistants, right?
Yeah, right. No. We're talking about software programs, sophisticated ones, that can do complex tasks with almost no human help. Think of it as AI graduating from tool to coworker.
Okay, I like that. So can you give us a picture of what that actually looks like, in our daily lives?
Sure. Imagine a customer service agent. Right. The virtual. It not only answers your basic questions, it analyzes your data to give you personalized solutions, predicts potential issues, even reaches out proactively with helpful info.
So it's not just reacting, it's anticipating and problem solving.
Exactly. And that's just one example. We're also seeing AI agents in finance, managing investments, analyzing market trends with crazy speed and accuracy. And of course, self-driving cars, that's largely AI agents, navigating all those real-time complexities.
It's wild to think about AI making decisions that affect our money and even our safety. But our article highlights one company specifically that's really leaning into this whole AI agent thing, Salesforce.
Yes, Salesforce, the big CRM company. They're going all in on what they call digital labor, basically AI agents doing the work. And they're not just talking, they launched their own AI agent suite, Agentforce, back in September 2024. It's already on version 2.0. They say it's resolving something like 83% of their customer support inquiries.
So they're walking the walk, showing these AI agents can deliver.
Exactly. And it's not just about saving money, it's freeing up human employees to focus on more strategic stuff, creative stuff, complex stuff. Think about the innovation potential when your team isn't bogged down by routine processes.
That makes a lot of sense. But is this just a playground for these giant tech companies? Are smaller companies getting in on AI agents too?
Oh, absolutely. It's not just the big guys. Companies like SoundHound AI, they're doing some really cool stuff with voice AI. Conversational technology, you've probably encountered their tech at restaurant drive-thrus.
Oh, yeah. Those are getting good at understanding my order, even when I mumble.
Right. But SoundHound has a much bigger vision. They want to build this unified voice ecosystem where AI uses natural language to control everything. Our cars, our homes, our devices. Imagine just talking to your car, telling it where to go, or asking your house to adjust the temperature. That's what they're working towards.
It sounds so futuristic, but also a little overwhelming. It makes me wonder if we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves here.
Well, it's definitely important to keep things in perspective.
Yeah. History has shown us that sometimes. The hype around new tech gets ahead of reality.
Yeah.
It takes time for things to mature, for businesses to adapt, for people to embrace the change.
Exactly. Think about the early internet, or all the excitement around genome decoding, or even the blockchain craze a few years ago. All those technologies eventually delivered, but it took longer than people predicted, and the path to big adoption and to profits was always more complicated.
What, 2025 might be the year AI agents really take off.
Yeah.
But maybe we should temper our expectations a little. That doesn't mean we shouldn't be excited, though, right?
No, absolutely not. The potential is huge. But it's key to approach this new era with both enthusiasm and a realistic view of how new tech actually evolves.
That's a great point. Okay, so we've covered a lot in this first part of our deep dive. We've gone from the crazy growth of AI, and when Nvidia's rolling it,
Yeah.
to the rise of these AI agents and the companies leading the charge. And we even touched on the importance of learning from history and tempering our expectations a little.
Yeah. And in the next part of our deep dive, we'll go deeper into what these AI agents really mean, exploring both the benefits and the challenges they bring. We'll also look at how this tech might change different industries and our lives in the years to come.
Can't wait. But before we move on, let's take a minute to recap what we've learned so far.
Sure. So AI is changing really fast. It's going beyond just processing information to actually doing things autonomously. And this shift toward AI agents opens up a ton of possibilities for businesses and individuals.
And Nvidia, with those powerful GPUs, remains a major player in all this. But the focus is moving from the hardware to what AI can actually do, especially these AI agents.
Right. And Salesforce is at the forefront of this. Their Agentforce platform is already making waves in customer service. But they're not the only ones. Smaller companies like SoundHound AI are also carving out their space.
And even though there's tons of excitement around AI agents, it's important to remember that history shows us things often take longer to really catch on.
That's right. We need to be enthusiastic about the potential, but also realistic about the timeline.
All right, that wraps up part 1 of our deep dive into AI in 2025. We'll be back soon with part 2, where we'll go deeper into the potential impact of AI agents on all sorts of industries and parts of our lives. Stay tuned. Welcome back to our deep dive into the future of AI. Last time we were talking about AI agents becoming more than just tools, more like coworkers, capable of making decisions, taking action.
Right, and that shift, that could really change how we work and live. Think about all the things we do every day. Analyzing data, following procedures, making routine decisions. AI agents could handle so much of that.
So it's not just making our lives easier, it's a potential shift in how we think about work itself.
Exactly. Take healthcare, for example. AI agents could analyze medical images, flag potential issues for doctors, even personalize treatment plans based on a patient's genes and lifestyle.
That's amazing. It's almost like having a superpowered medical assistant for every doctor.
And it's not just efficiency. It could lead to earlier diagnoses, more accurate diagnoses, potentially saving lives. But the impact goes way beyond healthcare. Imagine AI agents revolutionizing manufacturing, optimizing those production lines in real time, minimizing waste, maximizing output, or in transportation, coordinating traffic flow, reducing congestion, improving safety.
Wow. So it's like this ripple effect across every industry, changing not just how we work, but how our world functions at a basic level.
Yeah, exactly. But we have to remember this is still early. We're still figuring out how to best integrate these AI agents into our systems and processes. And of course, there are ethical things to consider.
Right. We can't just unleash these super smart agents without thinking of the consequences. Like, how do we make sure they're making fair decisions, unbiased decisions? Or who's responsible if an AI agent makes a mistake?
Those are really important questions, and that's where humans come in. We need to be actively involved in shaping how AI agents are developed, how they're deployed, and how they're regulated. It's finding that balance between using AI's power and making sure it aligns with our values.
So it's a collaborative effort, not a robot takeover.
Exactly. We need to see AI agents as partners, working with us to solve problems and build a better future.
I like that. Partners, not replacements. But I can't help but wonder, if AI agents get so capable, what happens to jobs? Will they replace human workers altogether?
I think a lot of people are wondering that. It's a valid concern. But if you look at history, technology has often created new jobs, even as it automates certain tasks.
So instead of everyone losing their jobs, we might see a shift in the types of jobs that are needed.
That's more likely. We'll probably see more demand for roles that require creativity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, complex problem solving. Those are things humans are still better at than AI.
Yeah, that makes sense. AI can analyze data and follow instructions, but it can't replicate human ingenuity and intuition.
Exactly. The key is to adapt, embrace the opportunities AI agents bring, and focus on developing those skills that complement AI's abilities.
So it's not about fearing the future, it's about preparing for it.
Absolutely. The future of work with AI agents is going to require us to be lifelong learners, constantly upskilling, reskilling, to stay ahead of the curve.
It's interesting to think about this shift to AI agents and how it might affect not just jobs, but our whole society.
It is fascinating. How will AI agents change how we interact with each other? Will they create new ways of communicating? Will they affect our sense of community?
And how do we change our education systems? To prepare kids for this AI-powered world, these are big questions.
Yeah, it's uncharted territory. But I think we need to approach it with curiosity and a willingness to experiment.
Right. Embrace the unknown.
Exactly. And that brings up a question for our listeners. How do you see AI agents impacting your life or work in the coming years?
It's definitely something to think about, whether you're in healthcare, finance, education, whatever field. AI agents are probably going to play a role in your future. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into AI for 2025. We've covered so much, from those powerful Nvidia GPUs to the rise of AI agents and what they could mean for different industries. Now, the big question, how do we as individuals prepare for this AI-powered future?
Yeah, it's exciting, but maybe a little scary too, right?
Definitely. We've talked about AI agents potentially doing a lot of the routine work.
Yeah.
But what does that mean for people whose jobs involve those tasks?
That's where lifelong learning comes in. As AI takes over those more repetitive jobs, the jobs that are more process-driven, the demand for skills that are uniquely human, those are going to become even more important.
Okay, so can you give us some examples? What are those uniquely human skills we should be working on?
Think about things like creativity, complex problem solving, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, leadership. These are things that AI, at least for now, can't really replicate.
So it's not about competing with AI. It's learning to complement it, finding where our human strengths can work together with what AI can do.
Exactly. It's a partnership. And that means being adaptable. The job market's going to keep changing. And we need to be ready to learn new skills, embrace new roles throughout our whole careers.
It strikes me that this isn't totally new. Think about when the internet came along. It took time for everyone, businesses, individuals, to adapt and figure out how to use it.
That's a great comparison. And just like with the internet, there'll be a learning curve with AI. There'll be challenges, setbacks, but also huge opportunities for people who are willing to adapt and learn.
So practically speaking, what can we do to get ready for this AI future?
Well, first, stay informed. Keep up with what's happening with AI. Understand how it's affecting your industry. And see what skills are becoming more valuable. There's tons of stuff out there. Articles, podcasts, online courses, workshops.
Right. We can't just ignore it and hope it goes away.
No, definitely not if you want to succeed in this new world. And then be proactive. Don't wait for your job to disappear. Start building those uniquely human skills now. Take courses. Go to workshops. Read books. Find mentors. Experiment with new tools and tech.
So it's all about having that growth mindset, always learning, evolving as the technology evolves.
Exactly. And it's not just about job skills. It's our whole attitude. We have to be open to new ways of working, collaborating with these AI agents, seeing them as a partner, not a threat.
I think that's really key. It's easy to focus on the fear of AI taking over. But we can shape how this technology is used.
We absolutely can. It's our responsibility to make sure AI is used for good, to create a better future where humans and AI work together to solve problems and make life better.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the main thing you want listeners to take away?
I think it's this. The future isn't set in stone. AI is powerful, but it's up to us to decide how we use it. Embrace the possibilities, stay curious, be adaptable, and never stop learning.
Well said. And on that note, we want to thank you for joining us on this deep dive into AI. We hope it's got you thinking and giving you some things to consider. As we head into this exciting new era, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.